Hey boys and girls, today we are moving on to lesson 2 of chapter 15. We are in your modules 10 through 20 book, 10 through 20, and we are going to be on page 375. Today we're going to talk about how you represent multiplication with decimals and whole numbers. So we've talked about how we represent multiplication with whole numbers, and now we're going to have decimals and whole numbers. So let's look at page 375 together. It says, Mary is shopping at the grocery store. She finds the weight of 1 banana and buys 2 more bananas that weigh the same amount. What is the weight of the 3 bananas? All right. So first, let's think about it. Okay, what are we talking about here? This problem is about bananas, and it's about Mary. She bought 3 bananas. I'm gonna just write that there for myself. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure this is dark enough for y'all to see well. Yeah, and I know that every banana costs over here 28 hundredths. 28 hundredths. So that is a decimal. It's less than 1. So it's less than 1 pound. All right. So now today's lesson is how can we represent that? So that means in a model or in a picture. So a good way to do this would be to show that number. Now, like we said, this is 28 hundredths. So, now this doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry about that. I'm going to make a hundreds board, and I'm going to show my one thing, and I'm going to split it into hundreds. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that would be tenths. There's one whole and I have tenths. I want to show hundreds because I have 28 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so again, don't stress about making this look perfect. It doesn't matter, it's for you. So if I want to represent just my 28 hundredths, I know that this would be a tenth, 2 tenths, or 20 hundredths. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay? So that is 1 banana. So if I am going to represent another banana, then I can just keep on making 28. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in 1. I made this one a different color, this banana. So there's 20. Yeah, y'all can see that. 20, there's 2, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So there's 28 hundredths to show my second banana. Let me find another color. Let's try this highlighter. So again, I've got my third banana. I'm going to do it in pink. I have 2 tenths. Remember, we'll write it over here. 2 tenths is 20 hundredths. Remember when we just made those into tenths? 2 of those is the same as 20 hundredths. Okay, so I have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28. All right, so I have filled it in as I've been going. My question said, what is the weight of 3 bananas? Well, I have totally filled in a lot of these. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84 hundredths. Remember, and you can show that by putting that 0 in the front. We don't have a whole number, we only have a decimal. If you write it like this, that is also correct. So remember, when you say a decimal, you are saying the fraction. 84 hundredths, 84 hundredths. Those are the same thing. Okay, so that is how we have figured that out. Now, Normally we wouldn't draw all this out to show it, but again, like we've been discussing so far this year, there are times where we need to recognize what that would look like. So this is one way that we could represent 28 hundredths times 3. And I always like to check by multiplying, so let's try that. 28 hundredths times 3. And we're going to talk more about this part later in the week. 3 times 4 we know is 24. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Now let's think about what would make sense. If I have 28 cents 3 times, I know I'm still going to have something less than 1. So that 84 hundredths, that decimal right there would make sense. Okay? Let's turn the page and try another one. So we're on page 376. All right. A starfish moves slowly in the ocean. Its speed is about 2/10 mile each hour. That is slow. How many miles can a starfish travel in 4 hours? All right. So it went ahead and drew a model for you. So I'm going to think, all right, it told me this is about the starfish, and the starfish, kind of like to get my thoughts together. This is about starfish, and these starfish are swimming. And these swimming starfish move slow. I'm gonna say this is my 3-word representation of this. Starfish swimming slowly. That's what this problem is about. Starfish swimming slowly. It's important for us to think, what is this about before we start working it out? Don't just grab a number, do something. Let's think about it. So this is about our starfish swimming slowly. So if I want to look at some amounts we have in here, I know that they move 2/10. It says each hour, and I know that each hour is kind of like per hour, or in 1 hour. Just a lot of words to show that. But I want to know 4 hours. So I'm going to represent that here. Oops. So in 1 hour, my little fishy went 2/10. I'll just put a 1 for 1 hour. And then the next hour, it went another 2/10. And then the third hour, it went another 2/10. We're going to have a colorful starfish representation. And then the fourth hour, went another 2/10. I don't know if y'all can see that yellow. I think you can. All right, so how many tenths do we have? We have 8 tenths. Remember, that can be written like that, 8 tenths. 8 is in the tenths place, the first place after the decimal. We are actually saying our fraction as we say our decimal. So, and how did we use the decimal model for 1 hour? We did 2/10, or 2/10 per hour. How did we use it to show the distance for 4 hours? Well, we shaded 2 columns 4 times, didn't we? 2, 4, 6, 8. How can you model the solution with an addition expression? Good. So it means adding. An expression is a number sentence without an equal sign. An equation has an equal sign. An expression does not. So just think about, what were you adding? 2/10, 2/10, 2/10, and 2/10. How can you model the solution with a multiplication expression? So that was addition. What could we write for multiplication? You could do 4 times 2/10, or 2/10 times 4. And technically, you could write it as a fraction. That's also fine. We're going to talk about fractions a lot this year. Okay, how many miles does a starfish travel in 4 hours? 8 tenths you can write 0.8, 0.8, 0.8. Lots of ways to represent that. Okay, let's see here. Do we want to keep going? All right, so I think, well, let's go down to the next page, 377. Let's go down to number 2. Use the visual model. Kinshasa, that's a fun name. Kinshasa buys 2 peppers. Each pepper weighs 37 hundredths pound. What is the weight of the peppers? So this is about total pepper weight. Like my 3-word phrase to describe it. Okay, I know that 1 pepper is 37 hundredths. What is the weight of the peppers? She gets 2. So on this one, you could say 37 hundredths plus 37 hundredths. 37 hundredths times 2. 7 plus 7 is 14. 3, 6, 74 hundredths. Same over here. 2 times 4 is 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 0 is 0. And to know where my decimal is, where does it make sense for it to be? 37, if you pretend this is money, you have it twice, you're still going to have less than $1. All right, let's do number 2, and we'll do our visual model for that one. 4 times 24 hundredths. So let's use our color. If you have a color, that might be helpful for you. 24. There's 1. I like using different colors just to help me out. So there's 24 hundredths. 20. Let's see how we can fit this in here. This is going to be a little wacky, but that's all right. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 2 left over, but I'll use them next time. All right, let's do 20 again. 22, 23, 24, because I like to fill it all in if I can, as much as I can. And then we'll do our yellow. Got to do 24 again. So I'm going to fill these all the way in. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I filled in almost all of them. I only have 4 left over, and I know 100 minus 4 is 96 hundredths. I can absolutely count them all. I know I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. All right. So you can continue practicing some of those if you want to. Your homework is in your homework book, page 143. You can do those odd numbers tonight.